So it's a video game movie, but it's about video games, but it's not adapted from anything, so it's not really a video game movie. It's just a movie about video games, video game characters. But doesn't that constitute as a video game movie or something? I don't know. This is Wreck-It Ralph with a bunch of other characters from other games. Is it a video game movie? Probably not. I don't know, but hey, it was one kick-ass movie. To start off, before I go into the review for Wreck-It Ralph, I just wanted to point out about this animated short that's before the movie called Paperman. This was a very, very cute, very well done animated short that had a good message and very good sequence, very wonderfully animated. They of course it's called Paperman, so they kind of did a shell shading. I believe it's called cell shading animation, where they make it look kind of like comic booky or something that's like drawn on paper. And of course it fit, and it was a nice simple story, nice simple everything. It was good. I really liked it. I liked the color. They had a nice color tone for it. They didn't do anything flashy with it. No voice acting at all. Just sounds and movements. It was really good. It was something worth watching. I can't really describe it. It's just something you have to kind of experience. Yeah, that was really good. Okay, let's go to Wreck-It Ralph. Okay, this movie is an absolute love letter to gamers. Every little thing in this movie is perfect. The sounds of the games, the design of the games, whether it's an original or something they took from other games, like Dr. Robotnik from Sonic. He's designed perfectly like he is in the games, three-dimensional, not 2D. And same thing with what's his name from Street Fighter, the Colonel guy, whatever. You know, if you've watched Nostalgia Critic, you know who I'm talking about. The of course guy. What was it? His name? Nagiv or Zombie. You know, you have all these other different characters from other games in there. They're pretty cool. Of course, you know, other gamers will recognize them and love seeing them in there, but they're not really in there much. But their sounds, their likeness, their voices, it's just perfect. Even if it's like a completely original design game like Fix-It Felix, it's a game that was like released in the 80s or something. It's an original concept that they created, but it was like released in the 80s, and the sounds were just perfect. Even when Felix is not in his game, the sound that he makes when he jumps is still there throughout, and it's just perfect. And the sound was just right, and the way, even when we go into the arcade, the camera zooms into the arcade, and all the characters become three-dimensional, even though when we see it, it's 2D, flat, 8 to 16-bit graphics, but when we go into the arcade, it's like three-dimensional, and the way the characters move is just perfect to the 8-bit to 16-bit graphics, the way they kind of like jolt like this or something like that. It was just perfect. I loved it. And of course, the voice acting was good. I forget what his name is from 30 Rock. Does the voice of Fix-It Felix, and he's just fabulous. He was just perfect for that role. Just not only because of his voice, but because of the way the actor actually is, and the way the character is. It was just perfect. And John C. Reilly was very impressive for the part of Ralph. Disney just picked like the perfect voice actors to fit like certain roles. The tone of their voice, everything was just perfect. Like, for instance, what really surprised me the most was Ed O'Neill as Mr. I think it's called Litwick is the name of the character. He owns the arcade store or shop or the arcade game building. Even though he has like 3 lines at most, his voice is just perfect for the role. I mean, he's kind, he's gentle. It was just great. A very warm voice that you would expect from somebody who works at an arcade place. And Ed O'Neill fit that perfectly. Just perfectly. And also, it's just great to see Al Bundy and something others, It was great. Sorry, kids. But yeah, it was great. I liked that. Let's see, and the story was good. Alan Tudyk was another surprise in there with his Sugar Rush game. Let me move out of here real quick. The other game designs were good. Particularly liked Hero's Duty was fun. That was funny. That was very interesting. And Jane Lynch as her character was, of course, perfect. Jane Lynch doesn't need any description at all. Put her in anything, you got gold. and it was funny. Of course, since Heroes is a violent video game, they had to make a little comment about it being violent. You know, Ralph goes, "When did video games become so violent?" You know, of course they had to do that, but it was a nice parody on violent video games, particularly arcade games, the way they are nowadays. Overall, even if you're not a gamer, this movie is just all fun. You'll enjoy it. It's a good family friendly movie to watch. Has a good message, good story, good characters, a lot of good voice acting. You know, it was really good. I would have to give this like a 4 out of 5 stars. I mean, there's little to nothing wrong with this movie. I mean, just go watch it. You'll love it. Excuse me, I had a little burp there. But it was a good movie. Something I'd really want to watch again. I would definitely get not only because I'm a gamer. This is, like I said, a love letter to gamers. But I would get this because it was really good. The last time I got like a animated movie was Despicable Me, and I'm actually looking forward to Despicable Me 2, and that one's going to be really exciting. So yeah, if you look for a good family-friendly movie or animated movie, this is a movie for you, if you're a gamer or not. So thank you for watching my review, and have a nice day. Before I forget, Sarah Silverman. Loved her in this. I mean, the way she put her voice as the bratty little racer, spectacular. I mean, she was just awesome. Okay, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. Alright, have a nice day. I'm pretty sure most of you have already figured this out, but I just wanted to throw this in there as something I completely forgot, which is why, I'm in a different area, but whatever. This movie is pretty much Toy Story, just with arcade games. Instead of toys coming to life when nobody's around, instead it's arcade game characters or video game characters that come to life when the arcade closes or when basically nobody's looking. So then they all live their own little lives and do different stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's a cheesy knockoff of Toy Story. I could say maybe it's a little bit inspired by, or kind of just quote unquote borrowing some of the plot lines of Toy Story, or not plot lines, but characteristics, I guess I should say, of Toy Story. So yeah, that's other than that, it's still a pretty good movie. I still give it 4 stars out of 5. So just thought I'd point that out there. Have a nice one. Okay, let's close out with bad guy affirmation, shall we? I'm bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me.